Yo, Irving City Council, how you doing? My name is Tiny, and I'm a professional sports gambler. But unfortunately, my career is at a standstill because I got 6 baby mamas all in the DFW Metroplex. So I can't live in a state that's got legal gambling, in a sense it will be March Madness. I'm coming up here to beg y'all to make sports gambling legal in the city so I can stack my paper and pay for the illegitimate children. I know some people think sports betting is risky.
Let them finish.
But I got an unbeaten system that can put money in all y'all pockets. Seriously.
Jeez, he just
my system is easy. I bet on the blackest and darkest teams in college sports because blacker the berry, sweeter the juice, and better the jump shot.
Swish.
I also got a sports betting angle that is foolproof. Since y'all want to let all these transgenders up in the league, that is full proof. Since y'all want to let all these transgenders up in the league, I became almost a millionaire betting on Leah Thomas's big ass winning all them swimming leagues. And just like these transgender swimmers, my swimmers are strong.
Yeah.
That's why I got so many baby mamas. But you know what that means? I got a lot of bills to pay. So I'm sick of risking my life and my freedom on gambling illegally on transgender athletes. So I beg you, Irving City Council,
to
please legalize sports gambling because I can't afford to be up in the penitentiary doing 5 to 10 years on some weak-ass gambling charge. I also would like it if y'all could give me some reparations because Irving is hella white and I'm hella black. My great-grandfather was a slave in Mississippi, so y'all owe me for real.
1 minute left.
And I'll say one more time, you white city council people need to legitimize gambling and start putting y'all's money on these transgender swimmers because they got propellers in their back-friendly swimsuits. And remember to always bet on black. I always want to shout out to my homie, DeMarcus Calloway, who is locked up for murder, but he didn't do anything wrong, but stab a police officer, which is according to the BLM movement, is okay. It's time to get paid, bitches. Legalize it and free my homie DeMarcus.
All right, Tim. Tim, run the music. We're coming in hot to episode 82. We're coming in hot to episode 82, Swamp Creatures. That video brought to you by Alex Stein in his Twitter. That was amazing. Obviously, this guy's trolling hard. I don't know. What do you guys think about that cold open? That guy's hilarious.
He has my support.
Yeah, for real. Like that shit was funny as hell. I don't know what else to say.
Whatever petition he has.
Yeah,
also,
6 baby mamas in DFW. Let's go.
Yeah, also shout out to private schools because that reading wasn't the best, but that's okay. We'll get through it. The message is what matters, honestly. Episode 82. It's a Rob show. We got conspiracies. We got the Brits getting angry. We got Black House and migrants sharing houses. What's going on? I don't know. I'm drinking some spiced rum from an unnamed rum company. We're not gonna give out names. Damn, you're good. Damn, you're good. Damn. That's because they put spice rum on the label. You're an alcoholic.
What? Not true.
You know that. What do you guys got in your cups? We're going back to the 2-drink minimum. This has got 2 shots in it already. So mind you, this is it. This is what's going on.
Mitch, what you got?
Well, I'm still living the sober life out of this lovely tumbler from the fine folks at Defy the Power.
There you go. Nice. Yeah. Water.
Which is going to be good because he's going to need something to wash down that Pocky chip, right, Mitch?
That's right. Look, it's anytime you want it, I can next day air it to you right away. I'll be drinking. We're still going strong with the Tennessee Honey Jack, so working on that. And then, I'm really interested to hear about this Black House migrants. That's what you said. You didn't catch it when you said it. I don't think you caught it this time either.
Blackrock housing migrants.
There you go. You said this Black House migrants.
What's the name of the ChatGPT title we got for this episode?
Blackrock's Migrant House Party.
Yeah.
Welcome to the party.
Blackrock Migrant Project X. That's what's going on.
There you go.
All right, so let's get right into it. Our first story for you guys tonight, Florida man story. We are the Swamp Creatures podcast, so I thought I'd start off strong with this topic. Former prosecutor for January 6th, Patrick Douglas, was caught on video in a road rage incident, stabbing a guy that was pretty much asleep at the wheel.
No.
Yeah. So who is Patrick Scruggs? He was the man that helped prosecute the guy that was accused of stealing Nancy Pelosi's office lectern and/or podium. So this, if you've seen pictures of that guy on January 6th, he was smiling when Nancy Pelosi's lectern is what they're calling it. But we have a video. You want to run the video? This is graphic. Allegedly he's stabbing the guy. Potentially, they're pleading not guilty, but there was a charge of burglary on there, and he wasn't trying to steal anything. So maybe they're pleading guilty to the not burglary charge, or to the burglary charge. But
right.
Yeah, he has a knife in his hand.
On camera, a former federal prosecutor in Florida is in trouble with the law. Patrick Scruggs is charged with stabbing a driver in an apparent road rage incident last week. Check out this video. The Florida Highway Patrol responded to a 3-vehicle crash on Tampa Highway. A driver in one vehicle suddenly stopped moving on the highway and was slumped over in his seat from a reported medical condition. The second vehicle pulled in front to help the driver, but then the impaired driver collided with that second vehicle, which hit a third vehicle.
Ooh.
Police say Scruggs, right there in the third vehicle, he allegedly approached the driver, smashed out his window. This is wild. And then began stabbing the driver with a knife, causing minor injuries. Police did arrest Scruggs, who faces aggravated assault and other charges.
It doesn't look very minor.
So wait, why did he stab him? That's what I wasn't following.
Yeah.
So the guy who hit his car had a medical incident and ran into his car. And I guess the guy just got pissed off. Nobody really knows what happened, like right there, what was exchanged as far as words, right? So we can only assume what we see. Yeah, so he was awake when that happened, obviously, because you can see the guy fighting back. But allegedly, this guy had a medical incident and caused the accident.
Now, when you say medical incident, what are you talking about?
He passed out while he was driving, and he hit the guy's car.
Okay, so the guy passes out, hits this prosecutor guy. Prosecutor guy gets mad and just goes over and starts stabbing him because what?
Yeah, that's why. Why'd you stab him? That's why.
That's why.
That's
All
why.
right.
Yeah.
Up.
So, via Newsweek here in this article, they are kind of attacking it from this angle, talking about bail money in comparison to the January 6ers, right? So a former U.S. attorney who prosecuted U.S. Capitol rioters got better bail than some of the accused in the January 6 case after he allegedly stabbed a driver in a fit of road rage on Tuesday. And they're saying his bail, let's see, Scruggs, who spent 10 years as a U.S. attorney's at the U.S. Attorney's Office, posted $65,000 bail the same day he was arrested in Tampa. Meanwhile, January 6ers, who he was helping to prosecute, were rotting away without an opportunity to get out.
So what's the angle there? What are they trying to say? January 6th lawyer accused of stabbing man gets better bail than the Capitol rioters. Was he supposed to get worse bail? I thought the Capitol rioters were putting an end to our democracy. This guy just tried to end one man's life. One man's life is nothing in the balance of democracy, sir.
Yeah, the justice system is subjective. So I think that's the angle where I'm coming from here. And I think that's the angle where this article is coming from as well. But I don't know I don't think any of the January 6ers stabbed anyone.
No, they were accused of hitting somebody with a fire hydrant, running some people over.
I mean, it was a fairly peaceful protest, and what are you going to do about it? I mean, I don't know why you're talking so much shit about him, honestly.
Fiery but peaceful.
Yeah, fiery but peaceful. There were no fires. There was one shot fired. What was her name? Ashley Babbitt. Was that the girl?
Yeah, she died bad. All right.
Mostly peaceful.
I don't know. I'm not saying this guy did anything wrong as far as like his job in January 6th. That's for you to decide. But video looked pretty bad here. I know.
Wait, he was on the side of people prosecuting the January 6th rioters?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he helped prosecute the guy who stole Nancy Pelosi's podium.
I got you. Okay,
the
I thought he was the
lectern guy.
lectern guy's lawyer, and I was like, this doesn't look good.
Yeah,
Lectern guy is better than this.
I don't know, but if you
Apparently.
look into his eyes right there, that's pretty fucking scary, honestly. Like that guy, if I'm waking up after passing out and hitting a car, and he's like stabby, 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 I don't know. I want to see the angle why they're saying not guilty. And I'd like a clear video because you can't really see the knife in the video. So I wonder if he actually stabbed him or if he like incidentally did it. Like maybe he broke the window with the knife. Either way, seems like he's going to get some aggravated assault for that one.
Yeah, interesting story, I guess. Florida man, don't fuck around. Be careful on the highways, y'all.
Yeah, Tampa. I mean,
Florida man.
dude, honestly, I-4 and I-75 down there in Tampa and Orlando make me want to stab people. Like if you're from Florida, if you're from down there,
That's my hometown. That's my stomping grounds, bro.
yeah, people will no blinker from the left just cut all 6 lanes of traffic. If you're driving on Colonial or something, just disregard for all human life. Yeah, I'm making my turn.
Rob, you would be a great lawyer for this guy because the more I think about it, it's like, yeah, he probably reached wit's end, was like, fuck this, now this asshole just hit me.
And it looked like he hit him from right to left, too, honestly. I would be pissed. It was like, in Tampa, there are exits on the left. In Tampa, some of them. So, like, there's wrecks. I think I've almost been in 4 wrecks in Tampa, like, anytime I've been down there. I've seen 2 of them right next to me.
Were you and I on the road at the same time? Because it was probably me. Because that's exactly how I drive through Tampa. As fast as possible. Get the fuck out of town.
Yeah, no, I narrowly avoided it one time. But yeah, no, I would have stabbed the guy too, honestly. So yeah, we can move on to the next topic.
You completely shifted my position on this issue.
Yeah, I was on the fence about it to begin with. So that's why I wanted to bring it to the Swamp Court and see what you guys had to say. Anywho, Rob Show, here we go. Blackrock housing migrants in New York. So this guy,
let me pull him up.
Yeah, fuck. What's his name? I had to download the video on here. I want to give him some
the
credit.
Older millennial.
The older millennia posted this on his Twitter. I think he has like 16,000 followers. So he's introducing a conspiracy theory regarding BlackRock buying up houses and having a fascistic relationship with the government.
Okay. Y'all want to come with me down another rabbit hole of how the U.S. government is using private industry to fuck over the American people? This is going to be a quick video, but I wanted to put it out because I want to hear what people think. The basic gist is that the United States government is using BlackRock to permanently house all the illegal immigrants they've been letting in. So you know how companies like BlackRock have been buying up large amounts of the single-family real estate? And a shitload of the properties that they bought are in the state of New York. And New York just declared that they're going to pay homeowners there $125 a day to house a migrant. $125 a day per migrant, per bedroom. That means the taxpayers of New York are going to be paying $3,750 per migrant per month. Now think about all those houses that BlackRock bought. Let's say they got a 4-bedroom. That means they can house 4 migrants. And at $3,750 per migrant, that means that property would now be bringing in $15,000 a month. And if any of those migrants have a family, that's additional money on top. And BlackRock doesn't have to worry because the money's guaranteed by the government in New York. I mean, you have to think, so far in Biden's presidency, anywhere from 12 to 15 million illegals have crossed over. And then because of all the incentive programs that New York created, if you enter this country illegally, you'd have to be stupid not to go to New York. You're going to get paid. You're going to get fed. You're going to get housed. All for the price of either a bus trip up there, or maybe you can catch one of those flights that Biden's been sending under everyone's radar. But regardless, you're going to go to New York, where BlackRock owns thousands of homes. And I'd be willing to bet a lot of those homes are about to have an illegal immigrant as a tenant. And they're going to make sure they get at least one in every bedroom. And I would expect that this continues at least until the census.
All right. So he was saying, what was it? It was like $125 a day. Was that per room?
Yeah. So there's an article. Okay. There's an article in the show notes there that is kind of in response to his video. It's just kind of telling what his video is talking about. It says each home will average. This is the claim he's making. Each home will average bringing in $15,000 per month to house illegals. New York just declared they're going to pay homeowners there a $125 I don't know. I can't see where you're.
No, you're fine. 125 per migrant per bedroom.
Yeah. So that's a lot of fucking Mexicans. Like I don't. It's like I know it's not just Mexicans, but they can fit in cars real well. Imagine a fucking house.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. And at $37.50 per migrant, that means that property would now be bringing in $15,000 a month. So basically, he's claiming it's cash cow, and the way I'm seeing it is this claim is sort of like the blueprint from the pandemic, right?
Yeah.
Like we're going to implement this policy, and you're going to make money off of it, and there's nothing anyone can do to stop us.
So what you're saying is if we wanted to exploit the system like Blackrock, we could buy properties in New York and do exactly what they're doing.
Yeah,
House migrants.
I don't know how, but we got to get in on this, guys. Like it's they're going to make a shit ton of money. And if you don't believe this random guy or us on Twitter, then let's go to the next video and see what RFK was saying a couple months ago. And before you play the video, I was doing research and looking up articles, and articles from like a couple years ago were saying, hey, no, this isn't happening. So mainstream like Washington Times, New York Times, they're like, it's not fucking happening. And you got people like RFK saying, this is what's happening. Go ahead and play it.
We've all heard stories of 20 and 30-year-old kids who can't afford to buy a house and even can't afford rent and are moving back in with their parents. This isn't happening because young people have suddenly gotten lazy.
I never moved out of my parents' house.
Monthly mortgage payments for home buyers are up 20% just in the last year, and that's because interest rates have doubled. Meanwhile, the cost of the average home has gone from $250,000 to $400,000 just since 2019. And those higher home prices have also driven up the cost of rent. So now Americans are paying a third of their income for rent. That's the highest ratio since records were kept. So what's happening? Well,
What's happening is the government keeps printing all this money to fund all of their pet projects and COVID relief and stimulus and all this kind of stuff. And that money has to go somewhere. And a lot of it goes to big banks and big corporations and all that kind of stuff. But some of it did go towards stimulus checks and paying people to stay home from work and all this other kind of stuff, causing us to import more, which raises the deficit, which means we need to print more money so that we can keep goods flowing. All of these kinds of things keep piling on, and the source is the Federal Reserve.
Yeah,
that's not what he's going to say.
But also, that's not what he's going to say. And also, some of it went to big corporations like BlackRock, Vanguard, and whoever the fuck,
100%.
So, and he's about to say his side story. I mean, it's a compiling thing, right? Like we're not for a fascistic like corporation and government, circle jerk. Like I said earlier, we want a competitive market. It's not a competitive market.
Is BlackRock, State Street, and Vanguard, these giant corporations which own 88% of the S&P 500, are going into real estate. These investment firms swoop in as soon as a house comes on the market. They outbid prospective home buyers with cash offers. They add that property to their investment portfolio, and then they rent it back to you or your children at the most exorbitant rate that the market can bear. So how can our kids or the typical American homeowner win a bidding war with BlackRock? By 2030, these giant corporations are on track to own 60% of the single-family homes in our country. So BlackRock...
And that's about all the video I wanted to play.
Well, what is his solution?
Yeah, I'm kind of...
You can play.
wants to be everybody's landlord and everybody's neighbor, but I'm not going to let that happen. When I get to the White House, I'm going to restore affordable home ownership.
His plan is to beat Biden and Trump and be the president.
Okay, that ain't happening.
To every American, and I'm going to do that without raising the national debt. And here's how I'm going to accomplish that feat. I'm going to create a federal program that backs mortgages at 3% financed by tax-free bonds. These mortgages are going to be available to people only, not corporations. This will drop mortgage payments by more than $1,000 a month.
We're going to start a federal program.
As soon as we start that shit.
Federal program.
You should start
totally won't become another slush fund.
That's why I didn't
to take money out of the system with.
That's why I didn't want to play the rest of the video, because the solution.
Why? Because you want to simp for RFK? Fuck him. He's not.
No, it's
so
the solution.
Sick. Yeah,
the solution.
Then as soon as he went to that, I was like,
That's the trick. That's what they do. That's what statists do. And the thing is, the issue is real. It's a real problem.
Yes.
The solution is shit. It is
His solution, you mean? Yeah.
his solution. Yeah, his shit. And most statist solution is a statist solution. It is that.
So his brilliant fucking idea is to start another federal program so that people can better afford debt that they can't afford. Like he's not like, it would be bad enough if he was going to say, we're going to put caps on how much a house can be sold for, right? Like pricing controls. That would be bad enough, but that would at least make sense. He's like, no. The price of the issue is not the problem. The problem is that you can't afford the debt because our interest rates aren't low enough. So we're going to lower the interest rates even more so that way you can afford all this fucking debt. Afford in quotes. This doesn't fix the fucking problem. And he says like these nice buzzwords like, we're going to put an emphasis on dealing with affordable housing, but we're not going to change any of the regulations that make affordable housing unprofitable.
What?
So do any of you think that RFK is a psyop? Because honestly, I'm starting to lean in that direction.
He could be. Isn't he also against the Federal Reserve though? Like, isn't he like?
Is he? I know he's pro Bitcoin. That doesn't mean he's on.
It's a question. It's just a question I'm posing. If someone in the chat can clarify that, you don't think?
I don't think he's against the Fed because this would have been the perfect issue to attack the Fed on. He mentions the national debt in all of his interviews, which is important, but his way to deal with the national debt is never to cut spending. It's to create new federal programs like this, which are only going to expand the debt.
Well, we got a minute left. Do you want to finish the video and see if he mentions any of that?
Real quickly. I don't know what his opinion on the Federal Reserve is, but apparently he is really against the idea of a central digital dollar.
That's good.
He also thinks that the Federal Reserve at least should be backed with real money, it looks like.
Real money, what do you mean?
I don't know. I'd have to pull up the clip here. It is a 2-minute clip that I have discovered that apparently was on Fox.
You can watch it on your own, but what were you going to say, Rob?
I just did a quick Google search for RFK on the Federal Reserve, and I found an NBC News article with this headline: DeSantis and RFK Jr. misconstrue Fed's digital plans in warning of government overreach. So this was probably in regards to that digital currency, that central digital currency you're talking about. Yeah. I'm not gonna spend time looking at this, but I'm gonna look into it later as far as his stance on the Fed.
So
I don't know. I can't like that because he identifies the problem and then does what everyone we hate does and offers a another government program.
So I want to go back to Mitch's question. Do you think RFK is a psyop? What do you mean exactly?
Well, I'm just talking about like, we send in someone to peel away from one side or the other, or to basically work as a pressure release valve. Because let's face it, man, like there's so many times where, especially now more than ever, I feel like this should be the libertarian moment. And yet here comes in an independent progressive who is going to steal that moment again.
Yeah, I think we missed our moment with the whole COVID thing. I don't know that he's a plant or anything like that. Maybe it's just like all coincidence.
Are you saying he's a plant against libertarians specifically?
No, I wouldn't agree.
I don't think he's a plant against libertarians.
Okay.
But part of me does wonder if he's kind of in cahoots with like the Trump type people, because it seems like he's really targeting the disaffected left.
Apparently, I saw a video today. He was claiming that he's pulling a lot from Trump's side.
Yeah, I saw that too.
And not Biden's side.
Yeah, I would say it's more...
I consider that strange because, like,
Me too.
everything he's done signals him to be pandering to the Democrats all the way down to getting his VP. And
how does that take away from it? Because the theory is that he's going to steal more votes from Biden than he will from Trump. That plays into
that's what I'm saying, is that seems to indicate that he's doing more to peel away from Biden than from Trump.
Yeah, exactly.
And it seems like all the people that I meet, I don't know about you guys, but they were people who voted for Biden in 2020 just because they didn't like Trump, but they don't like Biden now, so RFK.
Yeah, it's like a protest vote in a way.
That's basically what it is. He's the new Ross Perot, minus Ross Perot being good on banking.
Do we want to place a bet on what his like over under on like what his percentage is going to be? Like say two shots on it.
I'm willing to do a bet for that.
Yeah, like in the election. Now he's on.
If we all bet the same, like what? Like
you can't bet the fucking same.
Is this going to be like The Price is Right? Because there's 3 of us. Like, you can't do over under. That's only 2 options.
Yeah. Okay. Well, not over
Well, we
under.
can treat it kind of like a gambling pool sort of thing, and whichever one's the closest.
No, I'd say Price is Right. Strategy is pretty good.
I go last.
You want to go? You want to go last?
Yeah.
Damn it. Okay. I'm gonna say. Are we doing popular vote? Are we doing popular vote? Or are we doing electoral
This is
college?
going to go so badly. Just go. You're going to say 5%. Mitch is going to say 5.1%. And I'm going to say 4.9%. And you're getting fucked either way. That's how it's going to go.
I was gonna say 5%, but now let me think. Let me think about changing my answer. Mitch, Mitch, do you have a solid number you want to do? Because I was gonna go 5%, but fuck him. I'm not gonna go 5% anymore because.
Man,
Okay.
I'm trying to think of something.
Here,
'Cause,
I'll make the first bet. Fuck it. All right. So, the Libertarian Party never. I don't think we ever got over 2%. Right?
We're gonna get point.
No, not what we're gonna get now. What we ever got historically, the highest percentage.
Oh, the highest percentage was like 2% with Gary Johnson.
Okay,
right?
So I don't think that. Here, this is my. I don't know what the number is. I don't care what the number is. RFK will get more than the highest Libertarian ever got by 0.1%, whatever it is. That's my vote. Here, I'll look it up.
No, because we're gonna do who's closer here. We're gonna do who's closer. And do we do another bet on LP on what the LP candidate gets?
Okay, how do you rank them? How about that?
So
How do you rank them?
RFK is gonna outdo the LP candidate, in my opinion.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're all on the same page on that one.
Right.
Yeah,
I think so.
I don't think anyone's disagreeing with that. Unless somehow one of our best MVPs decides to jump up right now, then there might be contention.
No, you know what? It's too fucking late. How about that?
It is too fucking late.
If
It's not happening from anyone else.
if you're
Mike
thinking,
Cohen isn't coming to save us, people.
yeah, if you're in the LP and you're thinking about running for president right now, after most of the state conventions are over and national convention is right around the corner, then go fuck yourself. Like you should have already been in the fucking race.
So the record is 3.3% by Gary Johnson and Bill Weld.
Hey, 3.3%.
So on that note, here's how Dave Smith can still become our nominee.
Oh my God! All right, so do we think? So does RFK beat 3.3%?
I'm gonna go 5%.
Okay.
No, I'm gonna go 5.7%. Fuck you, Mitch.
Just fuck Mitch. I was the one that said it, but fuck Mitch.
You know, I kind of want to go with the craziest estimate here, just as the dark horse.
Because
You're gonna go high. You're gonna go high.
Part of me feels like I should go higher, but what would be like reasonably high, where like maybe that could happen?
17%.
No, that's insane.
That is insane.
I've seen reports of him like polling around like 23%, but that's like among Democrats and shit.
Maybe
Sure, so.
13%, just below the 15% debate.
See, I was thinking 7% would be the safest.
I don't think that's too crazy from 5.7%.
I'm going with the holy number 7.
I was thinking about 7. That's good. That's a good one. Okay.
Yeah.
Did they just like stop tracking him or what?
It's that Kennedy.
You can't be looking up stats right now. That is so cheated. Shit away.
It's like we're talking.
Yeah, cheating.
Well,
you're cheating.
Okay. Well, you know, but I think these stats are wrong. I think these are overblown, and I'll explain why.
You know what? Here, 1 second. I want to look at.
So
he's polling at between, I think, 20. What was it? 18 and 45. He said he was polling better than Trump and Biden.
Yeah, whatever.
According
he
to
says.
his polls.
Whatever he says, this is the Democratic nomination, so this isn't even like, you know, him versus Trump versus Biden.
That's just like fake.
This is just among Democrats.
Can I look at the predicted presidential markets?
Predicted.com.
I'm trying to where they.
I'm not trying to make this a whole day affair. Throw a number out there, boys. I think y'all are just.
You said 7.
You're gonna solidify that? Okay.
Okay, so RFK is currently trading at 6 cents.
Okay, whatever. So, Rob, what did you say? 7%? What did you say?
I said 5.7. Mitch says
5.7.
I said 5.7.
And Mitch says 7. So I'll go the other way. I think he's going to get less than 5%.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So is that enough separation? Prices right over here.
Yeah, what do you want to say? You want to say 4? Like, give me a number.
Since I'm low, I'll say 5, and 5 will be the threshold. He's not going to get higher than 5%. And I don't care what. And what I was going to say is, you didn't want me to look up the data, but in
Tim,
the
you have election fortification on your side.
I feel like I'm being overly competitive because we are running a show right now, and maybe we should talk about data. But fuck you, I don't want you to look at it. I don't want you to be well informed on this bet.
Well, what the data is saying, like the polls before the Democratic primary had him at 15%. He didn't get anywhere near that as far as, his delegation count or his delegate count. And so, and I
polls
don't
are
take,
fake.
Well,
polls are super fake.
Polls are somewhat fake because people say what they think in that moment. But when push comes to shove and it's time to actually pull the lever, push the button, circle the dot, whatever, they're not going to do that. They're going to be convinced by this is the most important election of our lifetime. They're going to come to the realization that RFK has no chance of winning, and they're going to make a choice between Trump and Biden. And I think most of them are going to lean towards Biden. Some people are going to have a protest vote, but that protest is going to be insignificant. I would be surprised if it got over the 3.3% that Gary Johnson and Bill Weld got, but I don't think it's going to go over 5%.
How much did Ross Perot get?
I'll look it up.
Like when he was in the debates and all that. But then
he got a good amount.
That's one of the reasons why I was thinking 7.
This is a Ross Perot type candidate here too. I mean,
yeah, this isn't exactly the Libertarian Party.
Right. And speaking of that, I think we should wait until we know who our candidate is.
19%.
19%'s pretty fucking good.
Yeah, we'll make a bet on the LP candidate once it is.
Less than 1%. I don't
convention.
care. Less than 1%.
You're thinking less than 1? I'm gonna go.
We're allowed to use decimals in this instance.
Yeah. Right now, I'm thinking 1 point. I'm thinking 1.3. I'm thinking 1.3.
So what do you think, Mitch? 0.9? Is that what you're gonna say? Price is right. Just cover your bases.
I'm gonna say 1.2.
Okay.
Oddly, okay. Do you think? Just last question before we move on, because we're wasting a lot of time on this, which is good.
Right now, the way it looks, obviously, we're not.
No, but
we're not on that yet.
So Spike Cohen enters the race. Mitch's bet increases substantially.
Yeah, if Spike Cohen enters, my statement still stands, but I make exceptions with regards to the fuck you that I gave earlier. But if Chase wins, do you think he gets substantially more votes than any of the other candidates?
I think any candidate who is not named Dave Smith will never break 1%, only because the energy and the enthusiasm was all behind that idea. And when that idea fell apart, so did the chances for the 2024 show off or whatever it was going to be. It wasn't going to be a victory, but the flex.
Yeah, you really got you've got to find the energy to be excited now. And that sucks. But you know what? I'm always excited when you're fighting tyranny. So that is what it is. All right. Where are we at?
Fighting tyranny.
Yeah. That's a. I
was off the rails.
I didn't play. Well, Tim brought us back on with that amazing segue. This video is kind of wild, and this is a good transition from the migrant housing topic that we just covered to what's going on in Britain right now in the UK. This is a video of residents fighting police officers that were removing tenants from houses to place migrants in them.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, I'm not going to play the audio because it's awful and loud, and all they're doing is screaming and yelling about it. But you can see in the video I think what is that? That's not a police car. I don't know what it is. It's a Bobby's car.
It looks like one of those cars that drives people from the airport.
No, I think it is like he's got a safety vest on. Look at him. He's so official. Yeah. I don't know who these guys are, who they put in charge, but the residents, the neighborhood is not happy with this move.
So what's some more information here? Like what's going on here? Why are they putting migrants in these houses?
Well, I mean, you can play the next video here, but as you can see there was a mob of people within that neighborhood, and they were angry about the decision, and they were trying to fight the police or whatever kind of authoritarian figure was implementing these terrible policies. If we keep heading down this path, people are going to get mad. And I'm not encouraging violence or anything like that, but
you are? No.
I'm not encouraging violence or anything like that, but it's a natural consequence when you kick people out of their houses.
Right.
Yeah, go ahead and play this video because they talk about it.
Suzanne, where are we going to put these people? The uncomfortable truth, as far as I can see it, is that we are going to have...
I like how he came, like he just walked. I don't know if this is like a British thing. He just walked onto the set and he was like, what the fuck are we going to do with these people?
tent cities of asylum seekers popping up around the UK.
Well, I think you summed it up beautifully, Patrick, just the huge pressure that we're seeing now on accommodation. And that does seem to be the only answer. But I'm actually a little bit more worried than that because I think this is all getting very sinister now. We know that we've had people who have been told that their properties are going to be compulsory purchased for asylum seekers.
I love like British language. Like it's going to be compulsory purchased. They're going to steal your shit. They're going to make you sell it.
So this is like, I guess this is like worse than eminent domain here in the States. Like at least eminent domain, yet you can get just compensation, right? And this is one of the reasons why, like, as much as shit's fucked up in America, it's still like we still don't have to pay a tax to have a fucking TV in our house. Fuck that. And we can still say what we want. We don't go to jail for teaching our pugs how to do the Heil Hitler like in the UK. So that's good. You know, I don't have pugs, by the way.
For asylum seekers. That pretty much tears up private property rights in this country. I was listening to the radio on the way here and they were talking about a massive problem facing Britain, which was older people living in houses that were, quote, too big for them. Who's got a right to tell you your house is too big for you? You should be allowed to live where you darn.
You can't get up those stairs, Granny. Give that shit to all these migrants.
Hold on, she's getting on some American
where you
first
darn
shit.
well
Let's
like.
go.
And the implication was very clear. These elderly people are taking houses that they shouldn't have. And I fear that's a worry, that there'll be some kind of move to get them out of those houses. We've also had the horrible scenario last week when Matthew Paris, writing in the Times, talked about how euthanasia wouldn't be a bad thing if it encouraged elderly people to hasten their own deaths. So what? We've got to pop our clogs, have we, forcibly, when we're 60, 70, 80, 90, perhaps earlier, if we're not productive people in society, as Matthew Paris said it. So I think the whole thing now is getting really, really sinister and scary.
Yo,
it is.
That's actually a British personality I can say I enjoy.
Yeah, I will say, having a family member who died recently, I will say that I do think that there should be some allowance for assisted suicide or whatever it is. You know, there are people that get really sick and it's actually very painful for them to live, and you know they're going to die and you're just waiting for it to happen. That was a scenario that happened with my family recently. And talking to my mother, she was like, it would have been great if we could have just not to be so cold about it, but to put him out of his misery. Like, stop living in pain and all that stuff. So it is kind of bad that we don't have those options. But when you're using shit like that as an excuse to authorize euthanasia because you're no longer a productive member of society and we need your house because these migrants need somewhere to live, like, that's some Soylent Green level shit. That's
Logan's Run.
Yeah. It's fucking nuts.
And I have no idea what the euthanasia have to do with these housing issues, but
she's tying shit together, dude.
This really does seem like some World Economic Forum shit.
That's what I was gonna say. Depopulation agenda. She's got it figured out. She knows what's going on.
I mean, we're seeing it in Canada. There just the other day, I don't know if you saw on Tim Pool's podcast, you probably did. Them talking about the 28-year-old who was gonna do the assisted suicide just because she was depressed. And the article that they read on there was basically like the therapist said, "There's nothing I can do for you. You're too far off." And she's 28. And then her like boyfriend or whatever was like, I'm support your decision. What are we doing, guys? 28 years old?
And they were doing assisted suicide for that?
Think about it. Yeah, I thought about throwing that article in here, but I did not.
Yeah, it's a pretty twisted story.
Yeah, it is. I also didn't put it in the killed stories, but that was one that was killed. But yeah, I mean, it's an agenda that's being pushed, and like Tim said, in certain situations, I can maybe see like financially and ethically where it would be the right choice, but in a society where they're like, we're gonna boost the retirement age and work till you're dying, but also kill yourself at 28. It's just insane. It's absolutely fucking insane.
Yeah, I don't know. How do you do that? Like, how do you make euthanasia not euthanasia, assisted suicide, whatever phrase you want to use. Because in one hand, I think people should be able to choose for themselves what they want to do. So if that 28-year-old wants to kill herself and she's made up her mind, and like, is there some kind of test that she needs to take to make sure she's serious and she's not being coerced into it? Like, I don't know how you regulate that or make it to where it's not abused in some way by some government authority. But at the same time, government puts you to death.
Anything institutionalized at all.
Right. But it's criminalized right now.
Yeah, I know, but what I'm saying is, like, institutions that offer that will have incentives to get money from that.
Yep, and it's
you know, we're all capitalists here, but I think that's where you kind of get into that red market fucked up area of things.
It is fucked up. Overall note is this is happening globally, and whether you want to say it's from natural occurrences where these people are
lower the human population to battle the climate change.
Well, no, I'm not just talking about
they will in the huts and
That's a pretty good Charles Schwab impression. Sorry, I interrupted that. Klaus Schwab. Yeah. That guy's also old and retarded. Like he also is just living out a villain in a book kind of life.
Like a Bond villain.
He'd make a good Bond villain.
Yeah, he would make a good Bond villain.
I think he needs to be a part of his own plans, but that's just me.
There you go.
Yeah, I think I was gonna say basically that in a society where they're treating depression with suicide, that's one, that's not healthy, and two, we have a Western medical society where they're shoving all these SSRIs and antidepressants at people and then saying, hey, if that's not working, there's nothing we can do for you. When they haven't even tried shit like Eastern I don't know, mushrooms have been proven to help PTSD and depression.
Don't take those drugs, take these drugs.
Yeah, I mean, but
there actually is some interesting evidence, though, to a lot of that.
Yes, it's an altered state of your body, of your mind, even.
Well, it's the psychedelic experience and what you take from it, kind of thing.
Yeah, and there's a reason why your body reacts a certain way to natural psychedelics and these natural substances, and we just aren't privy to that anymore because we've lost touch with our roots, Tim. Decriminalize nature. All right, here we go. Next, this one's dark, so if you want to skip forward, turn away. The IDF has been allegedly accused of killing personnel distributing food to displaced Palestinians. So this first video, they're pretty much saying, hey, it's too early to claim that the IDF did this. Go ahead and play the video.
The Australian Prime Minister has called for accountability from Israel for the deaths of these aid workers. Do we expect that the UK will follow suit this morning, and will we get those answers?
I think so, yeah. First of all, it's a tragedy, but I think it's extremely important that we also stress that there needs to be an investigation into this. To conclude now that it was an Israeli airstrike that killed these five people, is simply premature. We have one medic's witness account to go by, and he said that it was Israeli missiles that hit a 3-car convoy. First of all, if they were killed in a missile strike in their vehicle, there would be nothing left of the vehicle. I've seen the bodies this morning in some of the Telegram groups, and they are dead, but they are not victims of a direct missile strike. That's for sure.
Well, they died.
If they were killed in another strike, if it was Israel that was behind this, they need to be held accountable. Absolutely. But we cannot already conclude that this was an Israeli airstrike.
Okay. This is about all I wanted to play with that video, just to preface that it's a news story. But I hate that argument. There was something still there, so we don't think it was the Israelis. We didn't completely obliterate them, so, let's just say, okay. ABC News already claiming that so the organization they were working for was World Central Kitchen. It's a nonprofit, and they were providing food to Palestinian refugees, not refugees, but people who were displaced from their homes. And 7 foreign aid workers from an assortment of different countries were killed here. And let's see, where's the Where's the next video?
We start in the Middle East. The aid organization World Central Kitchen, that's based in the US, says it's immediately suspending its operations in Gaza after an airstrike killed 7 of its workers. The organization says those killed are from Australia, Poland, the United Kingdom, a dual citizen of the US and Canada, as well as a Palestinian. In a statement, it said the convoy was hit as it was leaving.
Was it Ted Cruz? Did they get Ted Cruz?
The Deir al-Bala warehouse after unloading
Ted Cruz missile.
aid, and that it coordinated movements with the IDF. It said, quote, "This is not only an attack against WCK, this is an attack on humanitarian organizations showing up in the most dire of situations where food is being used as a weapon of war. This is unforgivable." Of course, Israel denies that it is using food as a weapon of war. Now, earlier, Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese has confirmed one Australian woman, Zomi Francom, was among those killed. Graham Satchell has this report.
That's fine.
We don't need Graham.
Yeah, we don't need Graham. And I first saw this on X via Dylan Griffith at Living Dad Joke, and he has a number of different replies. Yeah, I don't know if we want to show that image.
We can show it. I just, sensitive content warning. Here you go.
Yes. Okay. Well, there you go. You're dead. And in the first post, he says IDF soldiers have just fired on a vehicle filled with UN personnel. So they're not UN personnel. They're working for this nonprofit World Central Kitchen. 7 of them have died. And if you go down a little bit, Tim, you can see where he claims 8 hours ago that Netanyahu said that an inadvertent strike led to the deaths of aid workers in Gaza.
Inadvertent strike. What, they just let one loose on accident? Whoopsies.
Yeah. So
what the fuck does that mean? Okay.
Yeah. So this is a developing story, but after last week, I don't know if you saw the strike where the 3 Palestinian teenagers were just kind of walking and they got just completely obliterated. 2 of them did, and then one of them ran from it, and then drone struck him again. Like it's looking terrible. It's been bad. And I don't know. I was throughout my life, I've kind of gone back and forth on the Israel-Palestine conflict. I don't see how you can stand up for these atrocities that are happening right now.
I don't know that anybody really is. Like, I think you have like establishment people in government, people like
Ben Shapiro
Ben Shapiro. Well, we can talk about that. But there's Ben Shapiro, but there's other people like Dan Crenshaw and Mitt Romney and all these types of people, Lindsey Graham, these types of Republicans, especially. It seems to be more prevalent on the Republican side, but I'm sure there are Democrats too, like Chuck Schumer and others, that just seem to be like pro-Israel no matter what. Like they're our greatest allies in the region and we have to defend them. We have to support them. It's for their freedom, whatever the fuck they want to say. Like, but those seem to be the only people, because average person that you talk to, average citizen, average voter, whatever, you talk to people and I feel like they have a more libertarian position. It's like, it's not my war. I don't give a shit. Like, I really don't. Like, I don't want to be involved. I don't want to send my kids to go die. And then Ben Shapiro gets attacked. You want to send American soldiers into war? No, I don't. No, I don't. Well, you want to support funding. You want to support arms. You want to stop this war any way you can. And America should support any way it can. So where do you draw the line there? Maybe it is American troops, but if you're going to send them bombs, what's the difference? Like, I don't know, man. The whole thing is fucked up. We shouldn't be involved in it. Obviously I support any country's right to defend itself, but that doesn't mean we have to be the ones defending them. They can defend themselves. That's
right.
I don't know.
Mitch, you got anything?
No, nothing more to add. That's just fucked up.
Yeah. So at the very least, according to that post, Netanyahu, it's an inadvertent strike. And if you want to look at it in a dark, twisted way, it could be a way to keep aid from getting to these people,
Well, something too that, sorry, maybe I'm going to cut you off with your own point. So we'll see. Something that Mitch said before the show when we were talking about Israel versus Palestine stuff is you never know who to believe anymore. And that's the other problem with this is the fog of war. It's just dealing with you get information from the Palestinian side that says that Israel is attacking all these citizens and stuff, those videos that you were citing earlier. And then you've got stuff on the other side from the Israel camp saying, all the terrible things that the Palestinians are doing to Israel and how they're instigating the fight and all this kind of stuff. You don't know who to believe. So again, I fall back to, I just don't want to be involved. Sorry, go ahead, Mitch.
No, that's basically where I go to.
I cut him off with his own point.
No, I wasn't gonna make that exact point, but no,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it's just there are arguments. This sounds so cliche, and people hate it when you say it, but there's honest to God, there's arguments to be made on both sides. At least with Israel, they're generally more. They're more liberal on certain issues, but at the same time, Jesus Christ, the war crimes.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, they are. Correct me if I'm wrong. They're a pretty socialist state. Right?
They're
Israel?
pretty social. They also have a very strong border policy. Just look into refugees that have gone there from Eritrea.
Yeah, and they have a especially strong border policy if you're a Palestinian citizen residing within the confined space, right?
Because it isn't even just Palestine. Like there have been other things that have come up with that as well.
You'll have to elaborate on the Mitch show next week.
No, I think
Yeah.
made probably the best point where it's like the only way you're going to see change in that region is you basically need a young generation on both sides who are trying to see it differently. Because with kind of the Hamas and the old guard of that, and the Netanyahu camp, those are never. This dynamic is never going to change between
Ice,
those
please.
Yeah, and this.
I tried to mute.
That's what those workers were saying.
They were saying ice, please.
Ice, please.
That's fucked up. I'm sorry. That's so fucked up. In all seriousness, this is an atrocity. And to what Mitch was saying, this kind of stuff ensures that a new generation will never come. This keeps it in a perpetual state of hatred and war. And like Tim said, we just need to stay out of it. And it's just never going to stop. This particular situation.
Speaking of ice, please. What auto check? Where are you at?
War.
I'm pretty sure I have finished. I have finished most of the rum in this glass, and it's mostly ginger ale.
There you go. Time to pour a second.
No, it was two, maybe even 3 shots that I poured in that one. So
there you go.
We're good. We're good on that. All right, moving on. The mayor of Toronto came out and she said some crazy stuff.
Right. Set this. Do we need to set it up, or do we just go?
I mean, I think you just go on this.
And the mayor of Toronto, Olivia Chow, joins me now in studio. Mayor, thanks for coming in.
Ni hao.
It's been almost a year since John Tory stepped down as mayor, and you launched your campaign that would see you become the mayor of Canada's largest city. How would you assess your time so far at Toronto City Hall?
Well, have a wonderful time. All the people wrote all the tax that I make them pay. Oh, there's me on a bicycle celebrate the Uber Eat. There's me get a necklace from a native people. We take that around, we don't give it back. Oh, that's me. That's how I dress at the Robin.
Come on,
everybody is so upset about my new controversial tax. Well, we tax on the rain. In China, it rain a cat and dog. Here, rain money, and I want to correct the money for all the poor people to buy the fentanyl and other drug that I'm going to slowly make legal as we get rid of all the rich people.
All right.
Hold the fuck up.
So obviously she's
That's
implementing
the joke, right?
She's implementing some non-libertarian policies that we don't really like on this. I figured
What the fuck did I just watch? Was that fake? That was fake.
Yeah, so that video
was fake.
that video was brought to you by comedian Ben Banks. I've been following this guy for a little bit. He's blowing up. I like him a lot, and he does a lot of political stuff. And he says shit that people like us would agree with in his comedy. So go check him out. And I think he's also running for mayor of Toronto against this lady.
Joke.
As a joke, yeah, pretty much. But he's fucking hilarious, and that Chinese accent, very over dramatized, and it's spot on.
Toronto just needs another crackhead mayor. That's what they need.
I just figured we needed some comic relief after
Palestine.
Israel Palestine thing, so I put it right here, hoping it would be good. That was it. That's all I wanted to do.
After when they first started talking, and I say they because I thought it was a transgender. I was like, oh wait a minute, like what is this, a transgender mayor of Toronto? Why do they sound like that? And then all the other bullshit after that, I was like, no, that's a man pretending to be a woman.
Ben Banks, good job. That's funny.
It was pretty hilarious.
Yeah,
you got me.
Yeah, Yeah, I'm glad y'all didn't watch that before. Okay. And in local news. All right, moving on. And I don't think we have any other videos, so
Yeah, I'm ready.
this one's kind of wild. Deputies in Santa Rosa County, which is right next to me, suspending beach access during Atlanta spring break. Is this racist? That's basically what I wanted to ask you guys. I think it's a little racist.
Wait, why do you think it's racist?
How is it racist?
Yeah.
Because Pensacola Beach has a famous video of a large fight involving a bunch of people that might have been from Atlanta. Who knows? I don't know where they're from. But I think they're trying to avoid something like that. I mean, it's a pretty on the nose policy.
So but what makes it racist? It just says what does it say? Suspending beach access. They're not suspending beach access to black people.
Atlanta has a large population of black people, Tim.
I'm aware. Now, what does that have to do with this policy in Santa Rosa, Florida?
Why are they scheduling this only for the week of spring break for Atlanta?
Wait, so you're saying because there's a spring break vacation in Atlanta.
In Atlanta, for like most Atlanta,
and they think everybody from Atlanta is coming to Santa Rosa, so they want to shut it down for that week. But isn't spring break like multiple weeks long and different areas all go on spring break at the same time? I can almost guarantee you, I don't know, because this is like such a sideways story. I can almost guarantee you that there are other major cities or even rural cities that have spring break at the same time as Atlanta.
Chicago's next.
Spring break is only like a month long. Like there's like thousands of communities across the country, if not hundreds of thousands.
I don't know how old you are or what school you went to, but we did not get a month off for spring break. We got like
I'm saying
what
I'm saying is however you stagger them, they're across a month. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Blame WEAR for the poor reporting here. The article isn't that long either.
Listen, you're infected by the left-leaning brain virus, and you need to seek help because there's not racism under every corner. The people of Santa Rosa, I will stand up for them. I will be their hero. The people of Santa Rosa don't want to deal with a bunch of bullshit, okay? They want to have a nice, peaceful night and fuck your spring break. And look, if the people of Atlanta are invading Santa Rosa and tearing shit up, then they have every right to kick them motherfuckers out.
I will say,
matter if you're white, black, Latino, or
Wigger.
Asian.
All that matters is if you're from Atlanta, really. No, it says anyone caught trespassing on private property to gain access to the beach will be charged. Large congregations will not be allowed on the sand. And that's not racist. I'm just saying, why are they targeting it? Why they timed it? And the headline of this article for our local news station here in Pensacola says, deputies suspending beach access in Santa Rosa Beach amid Atlanta week of spring break. That's a suggested, so
I think you're in agreement with the person who wrote this article and that you're jumping to conclusions about racism.
I don't agree with it. I don't agree with the policy either. But it shows that they did not. It shows that they didn't want to be recognized because the author is WEAR staff. It's not a single person. It says staff. So like, if someone talks about this, we're gonna all take the fall. I guess. I don't know.
Anticipation of large crowds between April 1st and April 5th.
It's not even it's like maybe 3 paragraphs here.
It says the final stretch of spring break. Yeah, I don't know. So you said you're against this policy. I don't know that I am or not. So deputies chose that. I'm guessing the sheriff is elected as it is in every other part of Florida. So
go look at the two. Go look at the 2 comments.
The 2. Oh, there's only 2 comments.
There's 2 comments on the. No.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do not tolerate any type of unruly behavior, no matter the crowd. Nip it.
What is? I guess nip it in the bud. I guess Atlanta minors unsupervised. I get it.
I do get it, dude.
Kevin Bacon said that. Can you believe Kevin Bacon is replying on WEIR news articles?
I'm looking up the meaning of nip it.
Yeah, if it's an acronym or not, I was kind of suspicious. I didn't know for sure.
It's an adjective that means tight-fitting.
Y'all acting like a bunch of nippets.
Well,
there you go.
Well, you're not going to get me on the hook for that one. Large congregations of them, Mitch. All right, here we go. Next story. This story was inspired by Mitch himself.
Okay.
The Not the Bee article.
I'm ready.
The feds are threatening presidential candidate literally anybody else from running in the presidential election. And Mitch, I'll let you take this one because this was your story.
Okay, yeah. So basically, this guy has apparently changed his name to literally anybody else, and now the feds are kind of harassing him
because he won't give his real name.
Yeah, basically they want his real name.
But he changed his real name, right?
Like, yeah, I believe he did. He got it legally changed to literally anybody else.
So suck it, bitches.
Of course, the joke is on them because literally anybody else is his legal name. The letter that he got from law enforcement says it has come to the attention of the Federal Election Commission that you may have failed to include the true, correct, or complete committee information, knowingly and willfully making any material false, fictitious, or fraudulent statement or representation to a federal government agency, including if the FEC is punishable under these provisions. The commission may report apparent violations to the appropriate law enforcement authorities. So they think that he's lying about that being his name. But no, it is actually his name.
Yeah, he said, "Pero no, it is." It like that. They even if they knew it was his legal name, they probably just threw that at him just to be like, "You're lying," and he did the right thing and changed his name.
Is it too late to get this guy to come to DC and have him get the presidential nomination for the LP?
This guy is Noda.
He literally is the embodiment of Noda.
But what are his policies? What are Noda's policies? And that's what we have to ask about every single
Does he have a
Noda.
website?
I should have looked into the story more.
Anybody else's administration is sending none of these candidates to the border to deal with the crisis. Well, is that like a campaign speech of his?
You know, there's that anarch meme, vote for nobody. This man is the embodiment of nobody.
I want to see what his ballot access is like. I want to see what his campaign's like and his funding and his platform. And, you know, we should throw him an invite. Hey, Michael
Is he
Heiss.
running with D's nuts?
He'd win. He'd win. And if you're Michael Heiss or the Libertarian National Committee, get this guy to DC in May.
Bro, here you go.
We should talk to him.
This is his campaign website, literallyanybodyelse.com. A new way of thinking about politics.
Oh, this guy's a ginger too. Love it.
Oh, god damn it. Let's see what the state of Florida. We're going off the rails. No results.
No results found. I bet that's like most of the states. I bet if you go down to like
well,
most
he's
of the
got
states-
it. Texas has its own independent
Texas.
page.
Okay.
So
Okay, get this. Hear me out, Mecox. If Michael Rechtenwald doesn't get the votes, and it's pretty obvious by like round 1 or 2 that we're gonna struggle, we band together, we whip some votes around, and we vote for literally anybody else. Oh, that's
Seriously,
awesome.
though, I'm actually entertaining this. If theoretically that were to happen, we'd have to have him physically in the room.
Yeah, we're gonna do like a serious like presidential interview. Like, how do you feel about the Israel-Palestine conflict? like what would you? Because he is
What's
a
your take on
presidential candidate.
fractional reserve banking?
Yeah. Would you end the Fed?
That's basically the question.
How do you feel about sunscreen? These are the things I'd like to ask a presidential ginger candidate.
What are your thoughts on
Yes.
the shape-shifting reptilians?
Yeah, exactly.
Can't spell
Oh.
harassment.
Are frogs gay? Yeah. So that's pretty much it on this one. As we're nearing the end of this, please, if you're watching this, like and subscribe. Swamp Creatures. We're trying to get to 500 subscribers on YouTube so we can monetize this shit. And if we monetize it, then we can make some money. And if we can make some money, then we can make an impact somewhere, guys. This podcast has been humble. We've had such sponsors as dog food. We're looking to get bigger sponsors on the way out. And we rotate each show, so each show's different. We have guests on. If you'd like to come on. We're based out of Florida too. So Florida, follow us. All right, last story of the day. April 8th, and I wanted to do this because I'm a space guy. I like space and what's going on. And the conspiracy world is kind of going crazy about this solar eclipse that's happening on April 8th. And you can look into it. There's a whole bunch of people saying some crazy shit about it. But on April 8th, not only will there be a solar eclipse, but NASA is firing 3 rockets into the solar eclipse to test what effects the sun has on these fucking rockets. I don't know. It's way too technical for me to get in it. But the project name is named after either an Egyptian god or a Greek god that eats the sun every single day.
The serpent deity.
The serpent deity, right? So
Yeah.
that's pretty crazy. On April 8th as well, CERN will be opening up its operation and trying to deal with dark matter and find what some people are calling the ghost particle or the God particles, what makes this universe work. Also, on the same day, you're going to be able, well, you can see this multiple days. I don't want to misconstrue this, but you're going to be able to see the Devil Comet. Pretty fucking weird. And then, April 8th. And then there's going to be a celestial explosion that you can see from early April through mid-April at some time. It's not quite a supernova, but it should be as bright as Polaris, aka the North Star. So a lot of space going on. And I saw this from Top Lobster. So if you want to pull the Top Lobster post right there, yeah. So he says, don't forget about the red heifers. I didn't include the red heifers into this because that's a conversation for later. I don't know. I don't think they're preparing to sacrifice the red heifers right now, the Israelis. But there's some shit going on there too. It's kind of weird. They're trying to. I don't know what they're doing.
Trying to usher in 10 years of Van Halen.
Yeah. So I don't know. And I would talk about red heifers. I mean, I'm one of them. So I don't know. I wouldn't exclude that story, but I feel like it's better for another show, a different show.
Yeah, I don't know what to make of any of this shit.
I don't know. And then some people are also saying that this is an opportunity because there's mass gatherings and that they've been local police offices have been contacted by like Homeland Security to, prepare for any kind of like terrorist attacks or anything like that. So I'm just now looking into it. There's just a bunch of conspiracy theories surrounding this day and all of this shit that's going on. And it's just fun to kind of look at and speculate. And then when the day comes, it's just going to be like 4 minutes of a solar eclipse and nothing else is going to happen. That's pretty much what's going to happen.
Well, there's a lot of other shit that's come up too. Like, I guess, I was listening to Tim Cass the other night, and I guess Aleister Crowley, he supposedly he talked to some demon by doing a ritual on
April the 8th. Yeah.
Yeah. So like there, you could even go deeper into the weird esoteric shit on that.
Was there some significance to April 8th, or he just happened to do it that day?
I don't know. I have not gone that deep into the world of Thelema and the very, very odd ideals that come along with Aleister Crowley.
Yeah, I don't know. It seems like it would have more significance if it was important, because I thought Aleister Crowley was in constant contact with the devil or some shit. But he like talked to him every day. It just happened to be April 8th.
No. Well, with Crowley, it was like he thought, and when he wrote the book of was it the Book of the Law?
Do what thou wilt. That's all I remember from him.
Yeah, do what thou wilt, unto the law, love unto the law. But supposedly his wife had like some crazy vision in Egypt where she saw the Egyptian god Thoth, and that's where he got the Book of the Law. And then when he went back to the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn to say, yo, look what I got, they told him, dude, you probably talked with a demon.
Yeah.
And that's where he had his falling out with the Hermetic Order. And then he went and started his own cult called Thelema, where he had a thing in Italy where they did a bunch of degenerate shit. If you could think about it, chances are that happened there. Anyway, that all came to an end when someone drank blood and died.
Okay.
Well, okay, all right.
Yeah.
Don't drink
Very
blood.
abrupt,
There you go.
Very abrupt.
Yeah.
I'll do that. Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, what really?
Are you guys going to try to see the solar eclipse? Are you trying to travel to go see it, or are you just going to look
Is it
at
the solar eclipse or lunar eclipse?
whatever?
So it's a solar eclipse.
Yeah.
Yep. I was thinking about traveling this, but the closest place is like Texas or Tennessee.
Yeah, I guess that's how heroes are created. You got to watch out for that shit.
Yeah.
No, none of you saw that show. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't know what you're talking about, but like I don't know. It would be pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
Mhm.
Niagara Falls, it's passing Niagara Falls, and that would be a pretty cool place to visit while watching a solar eclipse.
That place is gonna be fucking packed, dude. You're
Oh,
not gonna
yeah.
be able to get.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
not gonna be able to get in.
There's no way I would drive that far either. But the CERN project, that's what really interests me and kind of scares me. So they say next month CERN will shoot these particles down a 17-mile long tunnel nearly at the speed of light to recreate the conditions a second after the Big Bang. Can we contain that kind of energy? Like, what happens when you do that? We're searching for dark matter.
I talk to a lot of older people, and what they tell me is, if it's my time, it's my time. And that's kind of how I feel. They do these experiments all the fucking time. They tried to set the atmosphere on fire. They tried to create a black hole. They do shit like this all the fucking time. And I don't know whatever comes of it. Like, I don't know what happened in the 50s and 60s when they first discovered nuclear energy and they tried to set the atmosphere on fire, what actually ended up happening. I remember when they tried to create a black hole 10, 20 years ago. I don't remember exactly what happened from that, but I'm still here. So if they try to shoot some dark matter particle, bullshit, whatever, ghost particle, God particle, they try to create this down some tunnel or whatever. If it cracks the earth in half, then so be it, I guess. What am I going to do to stop them?
Right. Like, what are we going to do? What can you, I mean, they got
it's
carte blanche
crazy
to just do it.
It's crazy that, like, they're talking about in California, they're talking about regulating your use of a charcoal powered grill, and you're not allowed to have a car that doesn't do, unless it does certain number of miles per gallon, in their gas tank. But if you want to shoot fucking God particles down tunnels at the speed of light, just go for it, dude.
Yeah. No, that's
the hypocrisy of the whole thing.
That's a very keen observation there, Tim. And I'm just going to be on the lookout for anything that changes. Like, anytime that something comes up where it's like, I didn't know that shit before. Why is that the thing? Like, I just learned a couple weeks ago that if you leave rice out too long, it could fucking kill you.
Wait, why? Does it get yeast or something?
It gets poisonous or something. Like, did we skip into a reality where rice is now poisonous, where you leave it out? Because I'm pretty sure I've eaten rice and chicken that's been left out before. But whatever. I don't know.
Well, the MSG is a preservative, isn't it? So it will preserve that rice for you.
I don't think I'm lying about this. Rice.
What websites have you been going on, Rob?
You've seen it, dude. Rice. It's fucking ridiculous. All over the place.
I mean, you saw these on websites. Can you really get food poisoning from leftover rice? Yeah, it's all over the place. Can eating rice, cold rice kill you? Yeah, so it's all over the place. Just look at it. Don't leave rice out.
Don't trust the rice.
And whether that's a Mandela effect or not, I don't know. So that's what we're gonna leave you with, I guess.
Yeah,
rice is deadly.
That was good time.
Awesome. That's what we're gonna leave you with. Follow me, Vincent Comedy on X and Instagram.
Anyway, go follow me at Mitch Connor JLo on X, and go pay homage. Go check out the original sponsor of the Swampcast Network. I'm ashamed of both of you. 76 Twat.
There we go. You're ashamed of us. We sponsored by dog food in your honor. Okay.
Yeah, I never received any free shit from 1776. So until we get free shit, we're not sponsored. Sponsored by.
That's
them.
our sponsorship deal. We will sponsor Raytheon if you send us a free missile. That's what we want. Rob said, actually, that was that face.
I was thinking we're gonna inadvertently strike somewhere and be like, our bad, just like Israel did. So
there you go. Well, join us next time on the Swamp Creatures Podcast. We don't have an actual schedule, so be sure to join the Discord and follow us on Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it these days. We go live whenever we feel like it, and next show is Mitch's show. So get ready. Here we go.